who we've been communicating very, very often to hopefully put this event together for all of you. And thank you so much for attending, and it's really a pleasure and an honor for me to be here on behalf of our office. As Mr. Majender said, Commissioner Shama unfortunately cannot be here with us today. She is out of state, so she really can't be here with us today, though she would have loved to have joined, and she will join again in the future. So, as was properly said, I'm here to talk a little bit about our office, and kind of in this frame of the Know Your Rights and Responsibilities Council. Wow, it just got very loud. Okay, so the Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs has been in existence for quite some time. How many of you knew there was a Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs? Okay. Okay, so hopefully by the end of today, all of those hands will go up, and all of you know that we're there, and really the only reason why we're there is for you. So we should have every hand in this room up, right? So, let me tell you a little bit about what we do, so now you know more about, so now you know a little bit more about us. So our office is here primarily for policies and laws that affect immigrant communities. And we're here to advocate for policies that affect immigrant communities in a positive way, okay? With that in mind, I'm going to talk about 2 executive orders. I think this is not working anymore, and I'll just be loud. So, the 2 executive orders that I'm here about today are Executive Order 41. Can you hear me? Yeah? No?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Here. Okay. So Executive Order 41 is the first. It's working now? Okay. Okay. Hello? Okay. Okay. Microphone it is. So Executive Order 41 is an executive order that was signed by Mayor Bloomberg. And what it does, it protects your confidentiality when you go to any city agency. And it's a very, very important order that really protects your rights. So your information is protected when you speak to somebody from the city, somebody from any part of city government that you speak with. Okay. The second executive order that I want to mention, I think actually the sergeant will speak a little bit more about Executive Order 41. So I don't want to mention everything he does. But the second one that's really important for this community is Executive Order 120. And Executive Order 120 guarantees that all New Yorkers can access city services in the language they feel most comfortable in. So if that language is Bangla, then that's great. And that's something that the city has to provide for you. So when you come for example, regarding, I don't know, any city benefit can be given to you in the language that you feel most comfortable in, okay? So that's kind of the legislative aspect of what we do. The second part that is relevant to this community is that we have somebody on staff who's a director of constituency services. And what that means is that if you were to reach out to him and explain what your immigration problems are, let's say there has been a certain amount of delay in your case, and you haven't heard anything, and you don't know what's going on, Victor, who I brought his card, can speak on your behalf to immigration officials to inquire about the status of your case. Okay? Now, the last thing I want to mention about the office, very briefly, is that this particular program, a Know Your Rights and Responsibilities program, is part of a bigger initiative that the office has launched. It's called One NYC, One Nation. And you will be hearing this a lot more in the future. This is just kind of our first introduction, but we'll be back here again with different programs. Some of those different programs will be college readiness for both youth, for kids who are coming into 11th and 12th grade, as well as younger kids, because we understand that it's important to prepare for college much earlier than your senior year of high school. There will be a financial literacy aspect to this, which will be organized with the Office of Financial Empowerment. So there are numerous components to One NYC, One Nation. And all of those, we want to make sure that the Bangladeshi community here in the Bronx is very, very involved and benefits from it. So this is a conversation that will continue, okay? As was said in the introduction, this isn't just about knowing your rights, but it's also about knowing your responsibilities. And your responsibilities are to be involved in your communities. It's very important that entities such as community boards reflect the people who live in this community. Clearly, there is a large Bangladeshi community here in the Bronx, and it's a great community and it's thriving. And that has to be represented in local government. So community boards are one way. Sergeant will speak about another way. And another opportunity for you to be involved are parent-teacher associations. So I know a lot of you have children who go to New York City schools. And I can't stress the importance of becoming involved in the schools. And I do admit that it's tough. We all work a lot and it takes a lot of time, but it's very important to invest that kind of time into understanding our school community better. Okay? So lastly, I just want to say thank you again, and I really want to make sure that our two guest speakers have enough time to talk to you. After the three of us speak, please feel free to ask us questions. And even if those questions are not about something we touched upon today, that's great. I can go ahead and bring that back to our office and see if I can find somebody who can answer that question for you better. I really want to make sure we understand what some of the needs here are. If they're housing, then okay. We can have somebody come here another time and speak to you about housing needs, whatever they may be, okay? So, without further ado, I would like to introduce Sergeant Awad, who will speak to you a little bit about the NYPD and some of the programs that are available there. Thank you again.